Alrighty, let's film some shit.
All this fancy ass bullshit that I see on YouTube, I don't have time for that. I work full time and I don't get paid enough to eat out every day. And when I do eat out, they always give me a piss poor serving size of shit food packed with cheap calories. So here's my channel. I cook things that are easy, cheap, bold, and healthier than what you can find outside.
My name is Chi, and I'm a bad chef. If you haven't noticed, I'm Asian. For those asking, I was born and raised in Sydney, but mum came from Hong Kong and dad from Macau. And if you know about Macau, it used to be a Portuguese colony. So, we're gonna cook something from there today. One of the things that I grew up eating was this incredibly quick and easy sauce called pol, which literally translates to Portuguese sauce. Which is funny because this sauce isn't actually Portuguese at all. It's a purely Macanese invention. And as a result, it's very popular across diners in Hong Kong and Macau. So today we're going to make, well, not exactly that, but my mum's kind of knockoff version of it.
Alright, let's get to it. All you'll need is 2 onions, 2 carrots, some garlic, ginger and chili, 2 tins of crushed tomatoes, 1 tin of coconut cream, get the heavy one, a bit of oyster sauce, and a kilo of chicken thigh. You could use chicken breast, but thigh tastes better. Also, you could kick the chili if you're a little bitch, but whatever you feel like, don't put too much thought into it. Cut the onions, however, cut the carrots until they're in pieces of some sort, and then cut the chicken until they're an edible size. My mum cooked this when she was sleep deprived from taking care of 2 screaming children, so there's no need to overthink shit. To make it is super easy. First, brown the onions, garlic and chili in a large pot. When it's sweated down a little bit, add the carrots. When the carrots have softened a little bit, dump in the chicken, sear it off for a bit, then add the cans of tomatoes, coconut cream and oyster sauce. And maybe a few bay leaves too if you have them. Give it a bit of a stir, bring to the boil, then lower the heat to simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Season to taste, then serve on steamed rice. Easy, right?
So a few notes. Number 1, you don't have to chuck all the chicken into the pot. You can sear it off in a pan separately. The chicken will be a bit crispier that way. The second note, you should probably simmer that for maybe about 20 to 30 minutes because the longer you cook for, the more intense the flavor gets, which is pretty sick. And 20 to 30 minutes is approximately the time it takes to make rice. Oh, and that's pretty much it. Now you have this hot, creamy, fragrant sauce that will really hit the spot on a cold winter's day when you just need a hot meal. And that entire pot there was about 16 bucks, and that's good for about 4 to 6 servings, depending on how big your appetite is. So it'll feed you for at least a couple of days.
But that was a bit pedestrian, wasn't it? I'm going to show you how to turn it up a notch. If you're cooking for an occasion, we're going to retrofit this with a few more things to make it a bit closer to being traditional. First, we're going to add in a 1/4 tin of evaporated milk, along with some fried chorizo, yellow curry powder, and cayenne chili powder. Then, we're going to reduce it down until it's a bit thicker. We're also going to fry off the rice in some peanut oil with some frozen peas, eggs, and onions. We're also going to slice the chorizo from before and chuck that in too. Then, we'll lay the rice in an oven-proof baking dish, cover the top with sauce, then garnish with some desiccated coconut. Then, we're going to chuck it in the hot box and grill until the top is browned off. And that's it, we're done!
Oh yeah. It's thick, heavy, spicy and creamy at the same time, but the fried rice at the bottom adds its own character to it. And it's really quite nice. It throws you right back into those underground eating dens in Hong Kong or Macau. That's very good. But do I prefer this one over the simple one? I don't know. I can't say I do. And it's for one very simple reason. It's because this one's got a secret ingredient in it.
And what that secret ingredient is nostalgia. Nostalgia has a very unique flavour in the sense that it's symbolic of the catch-22 that is a battle between happiness and wisdom. I wouldn't say nostalgia is as simple as merely being a throwback to simpler times, but it's more to do with our loss of innocence as we understand more about how complicated the simple act of existing can be. It wasn't because the issues back then were any less complicated. It was just because we were young, we had seen less. So the flavour of nostalgia, then, is an acknowledgement that the wiser you become, the more you understand, but the more likely that that complexity will come hand in hand with a little unhappiness. So we chase nostalgia as an emulation, a bookmark of what simple-minded happiness used to be for us, paired with the wistful knowledge that we could never quite unlive our experiences and be a former version of ourselves again. But that's precisely what gives nostalgia meaning, the fact that we can't go back.
I've eaten this weird corn cutting version my entire life. Good days, bad days, whenever it will always be a symbol of consistency, when consistency may have been a little bit hard to come by. It's probably why I like this one so much. It reminds me of home. Outro.
Hey.